As famed dungeon master Brittany once said when talking about one of her players, isn't she lovely? This light-foot halfling, and they say she's so lucky. Rerolls ones, aiming high, high, high. The next time she tries, thinking, if I crit fail after I roll twice, then why do I roll with this dice? Hello and welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism, alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. You'll notice I was so distracted by my bad Brittany that I did the old non-self-isolation intro, and so who knows? A couple of announcements before the show begins proper. Thank you so much for coming back, Ash. Special guest Ash Minnick is here on the stream with us. We are absolutely delighted. She had one rule. She'd never play with Wes again. So Wes is gone.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for following my writer. No Wes.
Wes is busy working. This is like crunch time for him at work, so he doesn't have time to come play and drink with friends, and that's okay. We miss you, Wes.
His character was too adorable and complimentary. I hated it.
We have to separate you two, yeah.
Just a reminder, we do have a coffee account now set up for the show, and we'll be using any contribution, anything you use to buy us coffee, we'll be transferring straight across to charity. Our charity of choice is Masai, the Movement of Asylum Seekers in Ireland, and their key aim is to end direct provision. Since we last talked, now we can't take any credit for this, but we might. The government have decided to, within the lifetime of the government, end direct provision. We did it, guys. Well done. No, honestly, that could take 5 to 7 years, and the work of Masai still continues. So really appreciate all your contributions, and we're going to just kind of transfer in one lump sum when we have like a big amount that can just land into their account. So really appreciate it. If you enjoy what we do, please consider donating. If you can't, absolutely no worries. These are really difficult times for everyone, so we 100% understand. Other announcements, things you can do for free, though less good for the world, and overall less of a really cool thing to do. You can follow us, you can subscribe, you can like, you can do all the social media things. If you want to support the show, maybe you getting the word of us to someone else who could donate could be a good thing. Maybe, I don't know. But you'll find us on social media at Homebrew Quest. You'll find us right here on YouTube, where you're presumably watching us. So if you don't know where we are, I don't know what to say to you. Right here in your phone, tablet, laptop, TV, holographic, futuristic projection machine. So yeah, please support the show. Please tell a friend. The more people you tell, like, we've got big ambitions for this. So we really want to grow that homebrew community. In doing so, we have a Discord. You'll find the link to that. I think it's pinned on our Twitter page for sure. But it's also around our social medias. And also you can just we're so reachable. You can message any of us. We're like, here you go. We'll send you a direct invite. So thank you for the people who are joining us there. We're getting loads of fun D&D chats. We got to share and talk about Huck's Wild Magic Surge table that we made just for the show, and then see other people's homebrew creations. So pop over to the Discord, join us there. Of course. We are proud to be partnered with and supported by Dakota Irish. So if you're looking for handcrafted dice trays, really cool dice, incredible vaults and towers, just amazing Irish, dark chestnut wood mixed with a brilliant little inlay. What I like about their dice trays compared to other ones I've seen and used is that the lip on them is very high. So none of that kind of throw the dice. If you really want to slam those dice down, there's less chance of it doinking out and going on its own little Pixar adventure through the streets of Paris. So yeah, if you want to get 10% off stuff on their store, go to dakotairish.com. When you get to the checkout, enter in Homebrew10. That's what gets you 10% off. That's on their regular store items. I don't think that applies to their exclusive pre-order things, just so they can keep track of how they pay their rent and bills. It's a really small operation run in Ireland, so we like to support them as much as we can, and they obviously support us back in return. So what are we drinking? That's the note I have next on my... I'm really thrown without Wes. Normally he gives me a really supportive fatherly wink.
Yeah, none of us are going to help you here, Ben.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ben, but that just ain't us.
Yeah.
What are we drinking? Let's start with top left in the Wes spot, in the Wes Celebrity Square, is Ash Minnick. Ash, are you drinking anything? It's obviously noon where you are, so.
I'm drinking coffee. I in my this is I don't know if you guys play Jackbox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've lost her briefly.
just for a moment.
Shouldn't be mentioning competing internet.
The Jackbox crowd, they got her.
Well, we'll keep going, and then when we have Ash back, we'll jump back into the Jackbox game conversation. Gav, what are you drinking?
I am drinking some Galway Bay Althea Pale Ale.
Nice.
So yeah, a delicious pale ale. My local Spar just got all Galway Bay on top of what they normally had, so I'm treating myself.
Sweet. Ash, we lost you just for a little second there, at exactly when you said Jackbox, and I promise it wasn't our tech guy just cutting you off for.
I hate that game. There's a game called Jackbox. It's really fun. But with some of the games you can get sort of like swag. So this is from one of the games, and my friend drew this picture with her finger. And it's a fake arm alarm. Fake arms, no harm. It's weird, but I love it. So yeah, I'm just having coffee with chocolate almond milk and cinnamon and cayenne pepper.
Lovely.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Next on our wheel of circles is Lucy. What are you drinking?
I'm being wild. I might, in the second half, break out some red wine from a box. Until then, I'm drinking diluted lemon from a Coors Light pint glass. So just happiness continues.
I cannot wait until we meet this mysterious character, Diluted Lemon.
I know how important it is to you that I bring creative names to this. Once again. Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm hoping Keelan's drinking something interesting. I've got some beers in front of me too, so we're good.
It is Pike's Coffee. I don't know if that's important.
Pike's is a good name.
Nice. Pike's Coffee, that's a good name. Yeah.
There you are.
At that time.
I'm drinking It's Not Me, It's You, a Lervig beer. It's gluten-free. Not that I need that, but, nice, I suppose. It's a delicious beer. 6.5 double-dried hopped IPA. So, never had it before. Nice can. Big fan of Lervig in general, so I'll always give anything they've got to go.
Do we have... Was Lervig from a one-shot, or is he in our universe?
Lervig...
Or something.
Count Lervig is Arlington killed him.
Right.
Yes.
Or attempted to kill him. Arlington is on the run for the attempted murder of Lord Lervig of the House Lervig.
That's too good a name. We must have used that one.
Yeah, Lervig is in there in the world, which is kind of fun. Like some breweries have gotten in touch with me, like really like what you do. It's cool that we're a character. It's like, oh, you might never come up again.
Yeah.
We move so fast.
Who knows?
Well, I keep drinking Lervigs. So,
Brew is obviously the first mate of the Atlantean Son of the Sea. Those two beers come up quite a lot.
All the time.
by our very own White Hag out in Sligo. So I'm going to dip into that. But right now what I'm drinking and I'm enjoying is a new beer from Yellow Belly. Sorry, I think my camera's gone fuzzy. So as soon as I put it close, like auto blurs out, censored. That makes sense. It's called Pirate Bay.
Penis
so
brow.
It's the back.
It's called Pirate Bay, so maybe it's self-censoring just to keep us out of trouble.
Put it directly in front of your face and see. No, I meant facing it. There you go. Look.
I see what you mean now.
Yeah.
You turned it so you can see it. Nice.
I know. Paul Reck, who is their illustrator, does amazing artwork on their cans. And Pirate Bay, the way I'm thinking about it for Homebrew, if it comes up, is if you come across any legendary item, you can just like make a copy of it and keep it for yourself. It's not stealing. It's pirate. No, obviously don't do any of those things. Legalese asterisks there. I'm joking. This show's a joke. Everything we say in this is a joke. So that's what I'm drinking. And I think that does our pre-show announcements. A little looser. The energy is kind of fun in today's episode. So just before we dive in, obviously huge thanks to our tech team, who are Paul and Angus, and they're looking after the stream. Every time Ash drops, it's their fault. Paul's basically looking after it from behind the scenes, trying to keep us all on the internet, which is an incredible, thankless job. Even me just saying it doesn't really get him anything. We bought him a bottle of rum there
We
recently.
never thank him. That's why.
Yeah, we're in control of how thankful or thankless it is.
And it's definitely a thankless job.
So thankless to you, Paul, for running our stream, keeping us updated. If we're still on the internet, he's taken this in good spirits, so that's always good. But not to worry, we might drop in and out. I think the internet's acting a bit weird. It shouldn't affect the story because there is none. So we will flower on. Now, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, as we dive into a world where anything is possible, but not always probable. Welcome back to the realm of Hibernia. And imagine, if you will, a glistening, serene lake. It's reflecting the perfect blue of a sky above. And we can hear a sort of whooshing of activity around us as we see people just flying into this metropolis built up on an island in the center of these lakelands. We can see smaller suburbs and communities dot and populate the little islets and landmasses around the central hub. And in the middle of all of this, a majestic sandstone castle, flecked with finer details of pink and black sod granite. If you're picturing a Disney castle mixed with an Irish castle, it's that. That's what we're doing here. Bit of classic round tower, bit of classic chess castle shape, bit of classic fairies flying across, leaving some pixie dust. It's cornered by round towers, these large arching walkways between the buildings. They're built up and above on a pedestal surrounding the entire thing. The city itself is as diverse in its people as it is in its architecture. We see towering structures buzzing with arcane energy. It seems all sorts, humanoids, fae, monsters, heroes can call this land home. And we hear the joyful intermingling, the sloshing of fine ale. And of course, not everything is perfect, but it's as perfect as you can imagine. It's such a shame that it'll be here, in this very city, that the age of piety will come to an end and the great divergence will begin. But that was then. And this is now, where we find four sexy, sexy adventurers standing inch high, private eye, on the edge of a birch tree. Look, would you like to recap and bring the audience up to speed on how we've gotten to the tiny little end of a sprouting birch tree leaf?
Let's see now. We were going to a birch tree to sort out my curse, and everyone was happy about that. And then we met a lot of fae by the birch tree who started calling me Huck straight away. They knew who I was, and I didn't care why. And they started calling me their prince, and anytime I thought about that too hard, that hurt my head. So I have maybe thinking about it, not at all. And we cut to me telling my secret to the tree, which was the whole point. And that could have gone better, to be honest. Haven't told many secrets, but the whole fairy village started to crumble and a giant evil shadow appeared, and it all started going wrong, and I tried to help, but that didn't help. And basically, we're now inside a big tree, being chased by or chasing an evil shadow, right in front of my truth, which I got from the magical tree and how the secret goes. There's been a lot of other things in the meantime. We've become Ted's crew because Ted is helping us, and she has a beautiful dragon called Blueberry, who I think Iggy might be in or being held by Blueberry at present. Can I remember? What else happened? No, it's just been a mad dash. Sure, there's been some action, but as per things that you actually need to know, it's just been one dash from start to finish, straight towards getting my truth and figuring out what all this nonsense is about. And oh yeah, I tried to cast a number of spells and accidentally poofed Arlington away, as happened to our old friend Quail. And now that it's happened to two people while I've been doing magic, it's starting to seem like it might be something to do with me. But, we
wouldn't
can't
come
know.
to that conclusion.
There's
no way of possibly
There's
knowing.
a lot of stuff. So Other than that, I think that's basically the gist of what happened last time.
You're all the
Pretty
proper
much.
size now. There's
Oh,
that,
we're the proper size, are we? I
Oh, excellent.
don't think I ever knew
You were,
that. So
you
we're
were
just four
terribly
people
big
standing on a
before.
branch. Oh, right. Yes.
I get what you mean there.
See.
Yeah.
I see. We've all shrank. That's the thing. As we went up the tree, we also shrank, and as we've gone along the branch, which took a while, and we got attacked by a troll or something.
Forlorn, which is like a corrupted satyr.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Satyr or satyr, just not satire.
I meant to Google what that was. I didn't.
It's
so.
it's the guy who trains Hercules in the Disney cartoon.
Oh,
that
of course.
means-
That sounds like a Ben reference for sure.
Yeah. That's it's Pan. He's a half goat, half that thing. But I figured Disney was probably the easiest to reference. Yeah. So there's as you described it, there's a dewdrop at the end of this leaf. We're all the quote unquote correct size for Ted's crew, which is pixie fairy sized, and we are just about to face the shadow.
Yeah, I can pick it up there if you want, just to give you a lay of the land of exactly what you see. So you were standing on a large, sort of ever so slightly inclined leaf growing out from this birch tree. Has serrated edges, and they sort of glisten with that summer mist. And at the very top of this leaf, hanging just off the edge, is this golden, swirling orb. There's like a mix of activity happening inside, like a marble. Yeah. And that's that. Huck, to be that is your truth. You don't know what that means. It's just handily vague for me as the DM. The leaf, in relative terms, because you are tiny and you're on the edge of a tree, we're doing like a tiny world thing. The leaf is like 40 feet across and 100 feet long relative to you, like to use D&D terms and then apply it to tiny things, or what would essentially be a kind of an 8 by 20 grid at its longest and widest, at its crosshairs. I might have said different numbers 2 weeks ago, but the leaf hadn't stopped growing yet. It was just like, whoop, and then
This is the Fey realm. Things change.
things change. Yeah.
That's
And
why
then
Huck's magic
near-
is so wonky.
That's why. That is the only reason why.
I am instantly changing your magic table to the Huck's wonky magic table.
Well, I
instead
mean,
of
I like
that. So good. You can see near this glowing orb, not moving towards it or making a grab for it, just sort of standing sort of protectively in front of it, is this shadowy shape that you've been chasing. And seeing them closer, you can make out some details. You see two long horns. Wait, no, not horns. They're like ears sort of grow and flop down behind them. There's a slight bend and bounce to their leg. It's Lapine-esque. Like if you imagine like a Lapine version of Mr. Tumnus or a fantasy version of James McAvoy, that's sort of what you're seeing. Fur is jet black, but it's a shadow, so no points for imagination there. And it has this sort of wispy, shadowy essence to it. You can see that there's just sort of little tendrils that just keep coming off it. And around the edge of this leaf, close to the golden orb dripping off the edge, you see clear globs of water or liquid begin to form. It's sort of a natural, I looked this up in the week, guttation. That's what you call the sort of little tiny drops that appear on a leaf, but they're huge to you because you're tiny. And the orbs are so clear, you can see your own reflections in them. So you're getting this sort of like nice mirror effect. I say nice as if like you're not you and in peril. Nice for the audience, I guess. This nice disco effect. But before we get into that, Huck, your wild magic went off last week and you rolled a 91 on the table, which means that you get an item from the deck of silly things.
It was a 98, but yes.
It was a 98, and you get that item. So I think you have the deck. I left it in your house way before we all went into isolation, so you have it there. This is a gift that the players got to me one Christmas, and I'm now giving back to them in forms of things they can use in the game. Who knows? This could be a lesson to all DMs out there. Don't give your players overpowered things. We'll figure it out as we go along. So show that deck, grab something out, and if it's blank, take something else.
Better specifically help us with Shadow Man. So just
Shadow Man. Yeah. So when you're good, Huck, you can pull an item and let us know what it is.
Cool. Yeah, I've shuffled this now. Was shuffling it for about 10-15 minutes. So I'll just pick from the top. And what have we got? I've got the Bob of Apples. Which looks like this.
Excellent.
Crafted by the world-renowned Grandma Smith, this dark red toupee frames your face nicely and is imbued with magical energy that allows you to move with grace. In fact, the shimmer from the Bob of
Finally.
Apples is so distracting that any creature who attempts to bite you must do so with disadvantage. Additionally, once per day you can take the dodge action as a bonus action, and any attack roll made against you has disadvantage if you can see the attacker. After a successful dodge, you must remark, "How do you like them apples?" Well, actually, I love that as a rule. For the Bob of Apples to start regaining its power. When the Bob of Apples is shown to doctors, they must make a wisdom saving throw of 15 or be compelled to use all of their speed to move away from you.
Amazing.
Great.
So good.
Great. I needed a red apple-based wig. Functionally speaking, I don't think I probably won't find the wig in my pocket during this fight, I presume.
Okay. No, I
Well,
mean, like,
I can.
you can if you want. I'm not gonna.
It takes a while to get it tuned. I'll slam it on. And I'll yell, "How do you like them apples?" That's a certain.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. So that's where we are. The shadow creature is standing. It's not making any moves just yet. And that's kind of the lay of the land. What I was thinking might be, I hope this isn't confusing, but what we could do is all roll initiative now, but not treat it necessarily like I don't want to make the decision that you've jumped into a fight, but just so we kind of know if anyone has something to do, that we just sort of follow that action economy.
Sure.
Otherwise, happy to let it kind of
Sure.
loose flow, whatever works for you guys.
I can do that.
Let's roll some initiative.
20. That's not when I wanted to get my 20, Ben. You screwed me.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Ooh, dirty 20. And
Mine was clean, so 23 overall is mine.
23. Iggy.
I got 7.
7. Perfect. And Rian.
I got a natural 1 followed by a 12, which is 21.
Okay, 21. Let me just move you guys around in my little table. So it's Huck first, then Rian,
How did you get
then
21?
Ted.
From rolling?
Roll again.
Oh, you rolled again. Right.
Yeah, because I
I also
confused
thought
me.
it sounded like he just did weird maths. Yeah.
You're like, I added 12, so I got
Yeah.
21.
All right, so we have the lay of the land. Huck, this is apt. This for even for narrative purposes makes sense that the party might even just wait for you to make any sort of movement or sort of call for action here. The shadow's just standing there, just seems to be looking at you.
Okay. And it's blocking my way directly, as in it's directly in front of the truth.
Yes, it's directly in front of the truth,
The truth. Okay.
of which you cannot handle.
Yeah. I certainly. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to handle. That's a forewarning. Okay. Hello. I don't know if you knew what you were doing, but you were chucking some wee obstacles there in the way. I mean, they didn't really bother us that much, but I gonna presume that you were trying to stop us, and I really need to get to that glowing Bob over there, because that was the whole reason to come to the birch tree, and they'd all be really disappointed in me if I didn't get to the Goldie Bob thing majigger behind you. How are you doing? Can I? You can't prestidigitate a carrot, can I? Minor illusion.
I mean, you can, but you'd need a carrot.
I'd need a carrot. Right?
It'd
I
be a
can make
very
it smell
clean
like
carrot.
carrots. Okay, minor illusion. A carrot into my hand to try to offer him a carrot.
Good choice. If you went with the stick, that would have been an encounter. But obviously, I'll the carrot. You hear in your brains, all of you in your minds hear that same. You recognize this as sort of like, and it just seems like distortion until, and kind of mixed in with this, and because I'm not a human robot, I can't make this noise and words. So imagine that noise behind all the words I say for the rest of this episode. I can't let you take that. And that's directed at you, Huck, but everyone else hears it. I cannot be letting you take that.
Well, you see, I think it is mine. I said the old secret into the tree. That's the deal. They didn't say anything about a rabbit man. Shadow.
This Shadow sounds just like you. Have you guys met before?
Well, a lot of people speak halfling.
Oh, I just thought I recognized his voice.
You know, it's a
I
common
don't know
language.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I suppose it is Ted's crew at the moment, so you can make that call.
I just mean here.
Oh, okay.
It's not common.
It's not okay. Oh well, that's strange. I didn't want to fight you if I didn't have to, Mr. Rabbit Shadow Man, but I really got to get to that thing, and if your only goal is to stop me, then we're gonna have a problem.
Sorry, in my own head, I was like, "You're not speaking a different language. You're using an accent." Hello, I speak French.
This is halfling, Ben. We've discussed it.
I cannot speak common.
Reckons he halfling.
Roger, I cannot be letting you take what is rightfully mine. You gave it to me.
I didn't remember giving you anything. Certainly not some glowing orbs, and unless you're the tree, I didn't give you this truth.
Don't you recognize me?
I hate to say this, but I'm not so good at recognizing one bunny from the other, if I'm honest. I've only seen a few bunnies, and I don't recognize you. Have we met before?
I can't let you take this truth. I cannot be letting you hear, and I'm afraid you'll step no further.
Well, you don't have to be afraid of that, because it's gonna happen. I'll step further.
At that moment, let's jump into. Let's get some. Imagine ka-ting, line through the screen. Huck versus Shadow. Here we go.
Lovely new wig.
You know that this creature is about to make a move. You can tell that their stance has sort of changed. They've kind of I don't know if they hiss like cats. Rabbits aren't like that. Hair's up. Tendrils flare. Tension is high, and it's about to do something. And in that moment, being first in initiative, you can go, Huck.
Great. Okay. Well, if it's about to do something, how far how far away is it from me?
It's pretty close. Like, you are, to give you a lay of the land, I would imagine. You can let me know where everyone else is, or everyone else can let me know where they are in the leaf. But like, if it's top of the leaf orb, 15 feet away Shadow, 10 feet away you. So like, you're 25 feet into this 40. You're about halfway, and the rest
halfway
of you
in, and I'm about 10 feet away from
I think I'm far back with Blueberry.
Okay.
Blueberry the pseudo dragon.
He's just a dragon.
Okay. So, because I see that he's preparing, but he hasn't actually started anything yet, I'm just gonna go. Hold on there, buddy, and cast Melf's minute meteors on myself, which is fun because I've never cast this before. So, I get loads of 6 tiny meteors start to fly around me, I think.
Wow. And these must be super tiny, because you're already tiny. So
basically
so small.
The size of pollen at this stage. They float around the air and orbit me when I cast the spell, and then as a bonus action, I can fire 1 or 2 of them every turn that I have, so I only have 6 left. And each one explodes on impact and does 2d6 fire damage on a failed save or half on a succeeded save.
Nice.
And I can fire them up to 120 feet. That's the pertinent information. Also, it's fire damage and concentration, and it lasts for about 10 minutes. So
Good point. I always forget to look at vulnerabilities and resistances. I'm so bad. I ignore like half the stat thing, and I just go, I've played D&D. I know how this works. Nope, never do.
My experience, rabbits and shadows or things that are dark don't like fire or light.
Yeah. So this is sort of a flame on clobbering time moment for Huck. How do you imagine this power up?
Well, as it goes, it's nice that you said flame on, but he's actually kind of putting his hands up like this and being like, hold on, buddy, we can probably sort this amicably, but at the same time, creating a bunch of meteors to appear from him. Each one will appear from behind his head and then start swirling until there's 6.
Cool. Nice. So it's just it starts 1, 2, 3, and then gets into a pattern. That's really nice. I'm picturing you doing that, like that Goku scratch the back of the head.
Yeah.
The thing that he always does when he's trying to de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of his other move, which is just screaming. For our mics and ears, we thank you for not doing that. Yeah, that's your action. Obviously, movement and bonus action. You can kind of go as you will.
My wild magic to see if, or check. No, we're safe there. Okay, I can cast it as a bonus action, and I think I can cast it as a bonus action in the same turn that I can.
Straight away.
Yeah.
If you can't, then this time you can, and it won't be a problem next round.
Cool. Well, he still hasn't instigated anything yet, so I am going to be the one to start the fight. So, as it stands, I will just be there, not backing down, and as defensive as possible. But
nice.
I go.
So, Rian, from behind Huck, you see these tiny meteors just sort of around his head. You've never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen his cloak billow, obviously, and that's cool. But this is next level.
Well, now everyone's cloak billows.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that.
Yes.
Everyone's cloaks can now billow because Ted gave everyone that power. So.
Yeah. And I presume non-stop billowing ever since, like, you're dashing, your bonus action running. That's automatically counting a billow, but as soon as you stop, your cloaks just do anything.
Oh, and everyone's cloaks currently says Ted's crew.
Yeah, you can understand. Like she democratized, or he democratized. She democratized billowing.
Yeah.
So like you can understand the name change.
Yeah.
Billowing for all.
I haven't seen mine, but mine still says Huck. I've been informed by everyone who can see it.
This shadow, you can tell is you've been in a fight before, Ian. You're well aware of the kind of small, minute signs of aggression that are happening. The shadow's about to do something, but it is your turn.
Okay, Huck hasn't attacked, and it's kind of Huck's. Okay, now I can see the aggression. I'm going to run up and attack with Fraggerrock. Screw this.
It's all happening simultaneously, so it's like mere milliseconds.
Oh,
so like yeah, it's like in the 6 seconds of a round, you're all acting at once. So you kind of see a bit of that.
Attack with Fraggerrock.
Do you know what actually? Do you know what actually I might do?
Slash your cares away. Killings for just this day.
It's just place Fraggerrock to the neck of the rabbit.
Yeah,
because it still has the
truth
enchantment, the truth enchantment.
Yeah, you can cast a Zone of Truth when you hold this blade to someone's neck.
Yes. So do I need to attack with Fraggerrock?
Yeah.
No, it should be on the card, but I think you can just hold it to a neck and cast Zone of Truth.
Yeah, then I cast.
Stop holding it to its neck, though,
right? Sorry, Cook. Sorry, I missed that as I was rolling.
I said the rabbit might try to oppose him holding a sword to his neck. Other than that,
yeah. Don't worry.
You can't oppose Rian. He's too swift.
That sword is at the neck.
Is at the neck of the thing, and then I'd like to ask it, "Who are you and what do you want?" So, who are you and what do you want?
Did I give this a DC saving throw?
Feck, you
But I
might have. I
think it might have been 12 or maybe
Yeah.
14. You know what? Let's make it 14 because Fraggle Rock recently kind of exalted itself.
Yeah.
So we'll call it 14 for now.
For now, yeah.
And,
Sorry, I don't remember that.
Let me see. It's a quick look up the rules. Need to make a charisma saving throw. What is this? What is this? Homebrew thing's charisma. It only got a 12. So nice little screwing myself over then. It was 12. Let's make it 14. Let's shake things up. DM tip to any first time DMs out there. Don't make up rules on the fly. So yeah, it's zone of truthed, and it must tell the truth. Or just not do anything, really. That's the fun thing about zone of truth.
Yeah.
Who are you and what do you want?
I'd like to ask, who are you and what do you want? Who are you and what do you want?
You didn't know me. Sure, I'm Huck. And I'm here to stop Huck from getting what he wants. In your brain, everyone hears this.
Yeah.
Well, that's too many people who know my name.
Everyone in the world, all across Stirnanoke knows you are Huck. They knew you before this. So that's your action. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, you tell me how this.
Action, some movement, free action, which is speech, I think, and then are we counting that as an attack? If not, I'll just end my turn.
I think you have to, yeah, because it's such a that spell is an action to cast. So the only thing I mightn't cast it counted as a bonus action if you wanted to do anything for your bonus action.
No, I'm good.
Cool. Ted, it is your turn. You've seen Reen rush towards the shadow creature, hold a blade to its neck, and then the word of truth. And for flavor, let's say when truth is spoken, that golden orb just goes flares in brightness, because it's truth.
I am slightly confused as to what to do now because now there's two princes. I was gonna. How could they both be the prince? Oh, I don't care. I'm chaotic. I'm gonna, jump forward and take a really cool pose, and say, "How dare you take the name of the prince?" And inspired by the wonky magic of Prince Huck, I'm gonna pull out my I'm gonna pull out my wand of wonder.
Oh, wow!
And cast it. And
Absolutely.
See what it does.
So, yeah, do you want to roll and figure that out while I tell the audience what it is, or do you want to tell what the audience is and then weave it in? I'm happy to take. Cool.
Yeah.
So the wand of wonder. I'll let you describe what it physically looks like, but it has 7 charges. And while holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges, choosing a target within 120 feet of you. Target can be a creature, an object, or a point in space, and you roll a D100 and consult a table to discover what happens. The effect causes you to cast a spell from the wand, and the spell saves DC is 15. If its range is expressed in feet, its range becomes 150 feet if it isn't already. So you'll be able to cast it from afar. Covers an area. You must center the spell on and include a target. And if the spell has multiple possible subjects, the DM randomly determines which ones are affected. So I'm going to randomly determine if anyone's affected. And like all items, it regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. And if you expend its last charge, roll a d20 on a 1, your wand crumbles into dust and is destroyed. It is a chaotic random wand.
Yay!
I don't know if you know this about pixies. Yes. So it is a wondrous wand. So it's gold, but it looks like it's made of gold vines, and there's sort of like glowing red orbs that are constantly orbiting around it, but only when I touch it. If you saw it on my belt, it was just a sort of plain wand. As soon as I pulled it out, it's almost like a planetary system. A tiny planetary system is orbiting the length of this wand, and it's just magical and wondrous, and maybe has some magic on it to make it look cooler than it is. But I rolled a 45. You'd like to?
Do you want to tell everyone what that is?
Oh, sure, I can. I was gonna leave it to you.
I have it here, so I can.
Great. I rolled a 45.
Yes.
Ha-ta!
So as Ted wields this wand and points it towards the shadow Huck, a classic Nega Huck. I have no good original ideas. A blast. You hear kind of like a blast of bright light in the form of a lightning bolt extend out towards this creature. In the distance, a crack of thunder because lightning, and it blasts straight towards the creature. I don't think anyone else will be in its realm of attack. You can, of course, direct it towards people, I think. No, if they're on a line. Actually, they are on a line. So, Huck, you might be in the way.
Sure.
So you have to make a dex save.
Okay. That's fine. Just straight dex save? Yeah.
Just straight dex. And you're looking for the Wand of Wonders save is, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, DC 15. You're looking for 50. Oof.
I got 13.
Oh, and this shadow creature crit fails. So super failure. It is going to, just to show you the stakes of this game, it's going to use its legendary resistance to take out that damage. Because we're into big boss.
Is that a spell or is that just a thing?
It's a DM thing more than a creature thing. Yeah. So it'll take half damage, but you need to roll 8d6. Am I right?
Yeah.
This will be fun.
8d6.
This will be fun.
Nice.
For me.
Did you roll it?
I get full damage. Full damage.
What did you roll on your dex?
13.
Oh no.
It'll be fine.
Don't worry.
Chaos. I don't mind at all.
The simplest way to protect both princes is to kill both princes. Everything's equal.
So where just are
This
you
is how wild magic works.
I will say, I can say, you don't know which one I was talking to or protecting now.
Great. Yeah. I thought
Shoot them, shoot me. I'll shoot both of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8d6.
8d6. Oof, that's a lot of damage. Oh, am I rolling this, or do you want to roll the damage? Were you waiting for me?
Oh, I was rolling for you to, yes, I'm so sorry. I figured you roll your,
No.
All right, so am I rolling damage for both of them then?
Yeah, just roll 8d6 and I'll half the one.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it
crack
digital.
of this. Yes. As chat rightly points out, Huck, now you know how Arlington feels.
Yeah, well,
So,
you can handle it.
I used D&D Beyond's magical digital dice and came up with 32.
Oh, I'm not dead.
Ooh. So that's 16 to. Yay. Boop. Oof. As there's a huge crack. Some of the lightning even arcs towards a tree because trees and lightning, will they, won't they? As it kind of cracks around and absorbs it, and it's rooted into the ground, and you can see this kind of reverberate throughout the land. That's your action, Ted. You still have bonus action movement, everything else, so the floor is yours.
Yeah. So I mean, does the shadow react at all?
The shadow seems to have kind of taken the hit, and you can see the forks of lightning fly through it. It's lighting up what is this. It looks like a sort of space lightning cloud, that sort of thing, where it doesn't have there's clearly no central form. But for comic reasons, its ears stand up straight. And it does look hurt. It's like, oh, is that how it's going to be? Cannot fight me. It suddenly speaks in rhyme. You don't know if it's having a stroke or if it always did.
I hate to point this out, but does Rian also have to roll?
Oh, Rian would be in the way. Yes. Yeah.
He's fine with death.
Thought if I stayed silent, I would avoid that one.
You're standing there with your sword up to his neck, and he gets hit by lightning.
You're trying to get a 15.
Forgot you're right there.
Is
Come on.
Is 9 less? Oh wait, it's a save. Is
Yeah, it's a
12
save.
less?
Oh no, it is. It is less. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
32 damage.
32 damage. Oh boy, let me tell you. It's not looking good for old Rian.
As my bonus action, which in retrospect I maybe should have done before I cast, I would love to have Blueberry grab them and pull them just a little bit back from the shadow.
Blueberry was just a little slow off the mark, having a heart-to-heart with Iggy. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I got dropped. I was like, oh, I was enjoying letting your hand there.
But yeah, you're moved back. We can say that in Blueberry's one swoop, both Rian and Huck can be moved sort of in a triangle away, so no longer in melee range. And for flavor, because the shadow still kind of doesn't get to react to opportunity attack. That's it. And thank you for reminding me. I find myself having more fun describing what's happening in a fight than being the monster. So very well put. I'm like, oh yeah, kill the players. That's my job.
I'm sorry.
I have only now just remembered that I could have used my sorcerer ability to reroll or give myself advantage. So.
Oh yes, you
remember
can
that in the
bend luck. Yes, yeah.
Wait, could I?
It's done now, Rian.
It's done. It's done. I know it's done. I know.
Done.
I
If
hope
it's any
that's okay.
consolation, the lightning bolt doesn't hit the same place twice. So
I was listening to your stories, and this seemed to be how you guys fight. Yes, shoot each other.
Close enough.
There's never been any other magic casters. Is this really how this feels?
Am I not a magic caster? Do I cast magic?
such a burn to you, Iggy.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. I have never murdered any of you, though, so that's or
Next up is it's sorry, that's the end of your turn. You don't want to use your movement or anything. You're good. There, Ted. Good. Go. It is Shadow Creature's turn. Shadow Creature takes a couple of steps back towards the globe. The orb. Towards the orb, and all of you feel this kind of, you can hear this scream in your mind, this kind of as this wave goes through all of you. And I need everyone pretty much to make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw as you're hit with this sort of stunning blast.
Nice.
It's fun when we level up in games, right? Remember the times when we just used to ride around on chickens? That was a good adventure.
What was the...
It's 11 from me.
That's 11 from me.
I rolled a 5.
I got a non-natural 1.
Oh, because it
Oh, yeah.
missed.
Oh wow.
And can you roll for a Blueberry?
Yes.
All of you are stunned for 1 minute. You get to make a saving throw at the end of your turns, and you do take some psychic damage. So let me figure out how much that is.
Oh
Oof.
wait, is this? I roll advantage on this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it's a spell-based thing, I guess. Well, psychic-based thing? I don't even know if it's a spell.
Anything that's magical. I have
This is like
advantage.
a brain psionic thing.
So it's not a spell.
No, it's a thing called Mind Blast. And top points to anyone who knows what stat block I stole for this creature, because I just took one and applied shadow to the name. Top class DMing, am I right? Everyone takes 15 plus 4, 19 psychic damage.
I think I'm dead.
I am very, very unconscious. Wait, what are the rules for being dead?
You knock yourself unconscious, and then we start making death saving throws every
then
time.
I'm unconscious.
Same.
Just good to know.
It's up to you, Iggy.
I'm sorry. How much damage do we take?
19.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
So we're all frozen. We can't do anything.
So I'm just
You're
on 0
stunned
health.
you can make a saving throw at the end of your turn again. but you are kind of shocked in place. This was the thing. This creature was charging up and sending towards you. I need to make a roll to see if it regains.
Oh, and Blueberry made the save. I don't know.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's
Changes.
fine. That means. But nothing happens to Blueberry. Blueberry's mental fortitude is so strong due to its daily motivational speeches. Nope, not getting into this. It's locked. No damage, no stun, no nothing. So Blueberry could be the saving grace here.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't understand how this recharges, but it doesn't. Right. As this happens, and you can all see it, you're sort of frozen in place. Those of you that aren't unconscious, which I guess are our two halflings, you see this shadow creature just sort of float towards Huck on its move, and then put a hand down towards its head. And Huck, you don't see this, but the audience do, and Ted, Blueberry, and Iggy do, and Arlington, wherever he is, does. Just to include him, we don't want to do. As two sort of shadowy fingers come towards your forehead, and just as they touch, you're unconscious, and your brain sears with a bright white light, and we're all transported away from this fight to your memories. Everyone, the sheer blast of the psychic energy draws everyone in. You're all there. You can all sort of affect the next scene that we're playing through, but only Huck is solid. You're sort of observing it like you might a dream, or like you might It's a Wonderful Life. So that kind of thing. But, and Ash, you might not know this, in games before the stream, when we were doing backstory stuff, we did sort of theater ensemble-y things. So feel free to chime in, affect the world, kind of add some flavor to it. We're going to sort of scene build around Huck's memories, and to collectively, over the course of this episode, build the blocks to everything he's forgotten.
You might regret giving me that permission.
Not at all.
As in jump in as people in his scene, or as us in the scene?
As you don't have to be people, you don't have to be you, but you can be anything. You can be, there's rain on the window. You can be, the curtains are a bit tattered. You can kind of just add flavor. You can be me. I did make notes. I'm not being lazy. I'm not.
Sure,
Everyone did my job.
Huck's
But you
big
can,
episode. You phoned it in.
if you feel like it's some good dramatic tension, or that there's even a sound or an atmosphere, you can kind of add it in.
Okay.
Huck, I'll set you up so you know where we are. Huck, you're young. You are very young. And you're at home. You know it's home. You don't instantly recognize it as adult to you, but you know you are. In the same way that sometimes when you dream of a house you lived in, you know this is home. And it's a large, sprawling castle in the center of the gloaming court in the other world, or Tirnanog. And you're standing at the moment in a long corridor. It's dark. It's dark, and you try to find out why you're here. You've gotten up from bed. You've got out of bed and you're wandering alone at night as a child. You can hear crowds of people. You hear music. You hear dancing. You hear laughter. Somewhere, but you don't know where.
Okay. I am going to...
Are our hit points the same?
Here?
Yeah. Do
No.
we feel hurt?
No.
Oh yeah, I was going to check. I mean, but I presume I amn't thinking about what was just happening. I presume it's
It'd be a
dreamlike.
shame if you died. Just
Yeah.
remembering everything, and then we'll come back to the scene.
Yeah.
Stabbing you with a sword ruthlessly. You're in hell.
I peg it with abandon towards the noise of the party. Not worried at all, just thinking that fun is that way.
Nice. You rush down this hallway. And again, by all means, interrupt me. I'll stop talking in the moment someone else wants to chime in. So if you do. You pass your parents' bedroom, and it's empty. And you go, oh, they're at this party. This isn't the first time they're at parties. They party a lot. They're party parents.
They do.
They throw the best parties. And it's probably where the pixies know of you from, because pixies love parties.
Huck loves parties.
You make your way down towards the banquet hall, because you think, well, that's where the party's going to be. And it's empty. Music is coming from further afield. You rush through the banquet hall towards the garden.
Okay. What's the garden?
And again, you can ask questions or fill out. Yeah, we're literally just we're D&Ding.
Yeah. So what's the garden like? I mean, you said I know I'm in Tunanog.
Yes,
So-
you do. Yeah.
Lush, I presume.
It is a
day
lush
or
garden.
night? Night.
It's nighttime. Anyone else? Huck's garden, Huck's family courtyard garden.
Is there a statue of what him and his parents maybe look like? Some sort of like the equivalent of like a cheesy family photo of them on a white background, all wearing denim shirts, isn't it?
Yeah.
That in statue.
They
That's
have
also
that
what-
classic photo. Yeah, but it is a water feature statue. So in Tirnanog, instead of going to a photography studio for an afternoon, you get chiseled into a fountain in your garden. Huck, you see the statue. You see your father, you see your mother, and you see you. But you're not a halfling. You have
Baby halfling.
your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have you can tell it frustrated, and you remember it as soon as you see this fountain. You remember it, how frustrated the marbler artist. I'm just going to call him an artist. Sculptor. Yes.
A marbler is someone who creates art out of marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what these statues are made out of. They're actually made out of loads of marbles.
You can see that on the top of your head are two long hair ears, but that your face is the face of a dog, and that your body is the body of a donkey, but your legs are the legs of a goat. And like, and you can, but your parents don't have this horrible kid wouldn't sit still during the sculpting session. But you are this mishmash of animals.
Okay, I'm going to look down at myself as I am now. As I am looking at the statue. What do I see?
A cute little nightie. Classic candlestick holder and Scrooge hat, obviously. You know, you've gotten up and we're in a fantasy world. But you do see
Have I missed Christmas?
You there, statue. What day is it? You can tell you're in a sort of rabbit form. It's the form you feel maybe most comfortable with.
Okay. Can I search my nightie for any carrots?
Yeah, absolutely. You find a half-eaten carrot and some smushed carrot in another pocket because you're small and you're on solids. You do have teeth, but you're eating baby smush.
All right. So I'm gonna take a bite of this carrot. Okay. Well.
So bright. Oh, and then the effects of the carrot fade, and it's nighttime again.
Okay. The music is coming from in the distance in a forest, or like around the back in the garden, or.
You can see lights now in the distance. It's coming from. You can see these lights sort of spilling over the castle wall. So it's not in your home. It's not in the castle. You can tell now that you're outside, there is a huge party taking place. And your best guess is that it's in the local square down where you live.
Okay. This would be exciting. This is a bigger party than conventionally.
Can there be kind of fireworks in the sky, being things like, hurrah, spelling out words, etc. Bang, things that you don't need fireworks to say.
Perfect. As soon as I see pow fireworks, I'm like, they finally did it and they didn't wake me up. I've been asking for pow fireworks every single party.
Bang.
How could they? Or wah as it was, I suppose.
No, you speak halfling.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
There's these fireworks going off. Pew! Well, hey! Governor, will you marry me?
Hey, presto!
Yes. Presto. Ta-da! All the magical words you can expect fireworks to do, but none of that nonsense Gandalf stuff of animals. Just pure fireworks and the Batman powwows that come with it. It's at that moment in time as you rush towards the garden wall and towards this party, because you were so excited about the idea of a party, that you hear from behind you, "Come here to me, you wee scamp. There's to be no wandering off, especially not at night. You know the rules. You have to stay inside the castle at all times. The Puck Fair, out socialising, partying with friends is no place for a young prince."
But I asked for these fireworks. They're for me. That's, it's the only thing I've ever wanted in my however many years I am.
Now come here to me, you wee 4.5-year-old.
What's time?
We only looked after time today. I stuck a pinwheel through a paper plate. The big hand is the minutes. The little hand is the hours. And it's always evening time, so it never moves. And you turn around and you recognize the warden. The warden is your constant companion, someone who is just there to look after you day in, day out. The warden at the moment doesn't have a name, but hey, we're playing Homebrew, so we can give this warden a name if anyone has any suggestions.
I've got Verdant. It's nice, I suppose. Verdant.
Verdant.
Yeah.
Cool. Verdant. Verdant's a good name.
Verdant or Vagabond. That's the two names I got.
Verdant of the Vagabonds, I think is the... they're like the James Bonds, the bank bonds, and obviously the Vagabonds. It's a big family tree. All stemming from the bonds. So Verdant of the Vagabonds is your warden. You know him, recognize him anywhere. I don't know what he looks like though. So what is Verdant?
Well, are you asking me?
I'm asking anyone, but you can paint a picture here.
I would say a walrus. An old walrus. Yeah, there you go. You were going to say walrus?
Yeah,
big on the mustache. You see, he sounds like he has a mustache.
This happened before. Am I thinking of a walrus? The ones with the big tusks?
Yeah.
Okay, this time I got it right. Okay, cool.
But he's a bipedal walrus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And quite svelte as it goes for walruses.
Nice. And being a walrus obviously can move quite quickly at times, just like bounding towards you. But often you can give Verdant the slip.
Yeah. So long as I don't get into the fountain or any water, I should be alright.
It wipes some tasty oysters away.
He's wearing leather, but it's that kind of leather that's really cheap and actually makes weird noises, so you can hear him coming, and so he is easier to get out because it's sort of.
Hey, I mean, I don't know much about my parents' practices or anything else, but I mean, that's a weird guard to have all the time.
Yeah,
they're walrus. Yeah,
kind of a walrus. Yeah, in squeaky.
Let's cut to, if you don't mind, Gav and Lucy. You are Huck's parents, and you're in the hiring process for the warden. And you have in your dossier obviously squeaky leather, Verdant of the Vagabonds, and some other choices. Why did you pick squeaky leather?
I
just leather so classy, but we're not made of money, so
exactly. We want to give the impression of wealth, I think. So obviously walrus, that's a given, and I won't have another single sea mammal considered. And yeah, just the I don't know, something about the harsh squeak of fake leather. The faker, the better. And I want this to be flammable.
The walrus, I just wanted him to be as mockable as possible when we've got two sticks, I want to really be able to, kind of put him in his place by doing a small impersonation of him whenever
Exactly. And we'll know when it's time to get rid of him when Huck himself starts to put the sticks in his mouth to make fun of thing. Then we will move on to, I don't know, an elephant. And when Huck figures out how to make fun of elephants, we will move on to a cheetah. And when he makes fun of cheetahs, we will move on from there.
Because we want him to be a very harsh person, someone who
Hostile.
criticizes everyone, doesn't want to make
Yeah.
friends, So yeah, we have to really build up his ability to insult from a young age. Yeah.
As long as he hates making friends, I'll be proud as his father.
Same, and that's why we love each other.
You guys are a lot of fun at parties, of which you throw many. And at that moment in time, we will back to the solitary birch tree and this tiny little leaf as we get a glimpse into Huck's early years. So we are on Iggy's turn. Iggy, it is your turn. You are stunned.
Yeah.
But you can.
So your turn is over.
Yeah.
But at the end of your turn, you can make repeat that saving throw. So you can make another intelligence saving throw. If you get a 15, you are unstunned.
Okay. I'm doing I can't do anything, right? Yeah, I'm just doing my thing. So intelligence. Okay, -1 again. I got a 6.
Sweet. You are stunzo. A stun hun. You are stuck. Brings us on to we didn't roll initiative for Blueberry, but I'll count Blueberry on your turn if that's okay, Ted.
Yeah.
So where we go, right? Brilliant. Top of the round, Huck. You are down. You are incapacitated. You need to make a death saving throw.
Okay. As my first death saving throw in 5th edition, what am I doing?
You're rolling a d20 and you're trying to get above 10.
Grant. Okay. 17.
17. Mark it down as a success.
Right. Does that mean everything's fine and I'm alive?
You'll need to get 2 more successes, and then everything is better than it is now.
Okay.
So the first you reach, essentially for death saving throws, for anyone watching who's not necessarily played D&D before or new to the game, you basically have 3 trackers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, success and failure. And the moment you hit 3 on one of those, you either stabilize, I think, or you die, I think. But we've never gotten there, and when we do, I'll look up the rules. There's a GM's tip. Until you come across the problem, you don't need to know the problem. Successful saving throw from Huck. Rian, it is your turn. I'm going to need the same, I think.
I think, and just because I want to do this right, I think there's a second rule about death, where if you take damage over a certain amount, because I was on 2 and I got 19, so I'm -17. Is it over your max HP?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Phew. Okay,
so
we're in the clear.
Yeah.
You
need to go all the way. So if your HP was 30 and you took 60 damage, then you'd go 30 and 30. And you're
30 and 30 and you're done. Okay. First saving throw.
About the amount of points I drink all the time, 30 points, and I'm done. It's too many points. Don't drink that many points.
Does Halfling Luck count for death saving throws?
Ooh, I don't know.
It doesn't matter. That was a 3, but just for future. Just for future.
Ooh, you coming back to the damage to the ground, huh? You got my heart racing. because if you critically succeed or critically fail, you take 2, I think, or you automatically stabilize if you get a 20. So there's rules there too. I am almost certain chat are also screaming at us, being like, "These are the rules, numbnuts," and that's okay. Don't be like Gygax Award for that kind of stuff. So
and if you start your email with "Hey numbnuts," you get extra points.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's a fail for Rian.
Yes.
Don't worry, we will have a whiskey-filled wake for you when we eventually get to that episode. Who knows? You might spring back to life. It is Ted's turn. Ted, you can make a intelligence saving throw, but also Blueberry is totally fine. So you can use Blueberry on your turn to do whatever you need to do.
Can I do both?
Yeah, why not?
Cool. I don't make it, but that's fine. But I still feel like I should have advantage because it seems like a spell, but that's just me.
I think it's just a monster technique.
It's Mind Blast, right?
Yeah, that's not a spell. That's an
evocation.
That sounds like a spell.
Oh. Let me quickly look that up. And Mind Blast is a spell. Look at that. Yeah, yeah.
What do you know?
So let's just
Absolutely.
undo everything that Ben did. And
You know what?
fine.
Start again.
My mistake. Roll with double advantage. Don't even count the last one. Just roll two of them.
And this is intelligence. I got a 17.
You pass. You shake off this Mind Blast, and you are free to do anything you want on your next turn because it's the end of your turn. But Blueberry has a full turn ahead of them.
Ah, Blueberry. So many fun things Blueberry can do. Not really, but
I think that'll be useful.
dance, a little dance. Yeah, I'll just have him bite him. He's gonna bite the. Oh no! Can I have Blueberry try? How big is the orb?
The orb is half the size of a bowling, like a magic 8 ball.
Okay, so I would like to have Blueberry try to take the orb.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. Blueberry takes to the sky, swoops around. I mean, it's picking up an orb and it's a dragon, and it's gold colored. I mean, dragons are literally genetically modified for this. So let's just do a very easy sleight of hand, just to kind of snatch, or like an attack if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just a dex or sleight of hand.
Oh, Dex is great. So it's 16.
Easy peasy. Blueberry swoops in, grabs the orb from the end of the branch, and has it.
Grand. I'm just gonna go a bit away from the shadow. But he's gonna stick his tongue out as he does it.
Nice. The forked dragon tongue comes out, and keeps a distance and can just sort of hover nearby whenever you need Blueberry. There with you.
Okay.
Fantastic. It goes now on to our
It just
little
seemed
shadow
important.
creature. Okay. What are we gonna do here? Shadow creature is above Huck, and it is going to try. You see a hand come down to attack you. I think because you're prone, it attacks with advantage, but it still might miss. Oh, Jesus, it really might miss. 16? What's your AC? 16?
Who are you talking to?
To you, Huck. It's trying to. A sort of blade appears in its shadow hand. It's trying to like stab right into you.
No, my AC is 13. Unless I can consciously do anything.
Don't think so. So it does. It does attack, and it counts as 2 death saving throws as it's an auto crit. And everyone else who's not stunned just starts to see what seems to be a transformation between this shadow creature and Huck, as it becomes more Huck-like and Huck becomes more it-like.
Okay.
When you say that's 2 death saving throws, it's just 2 fails on the 3 fails.
2 fails on the 3 fails. Yeah.
Good thing I didn't fail that first roll.
Yeah. 100%. Don't worry, True Love's first kiss can get you up like straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the shadow's like so close. Yeah. That is its turn pretty much. It's just trying to absorb Huck in and become Huck.
I don't know if it's good or not.
Yeah. What
You're
the Huck is perishing, but we've got a new one ready. Like, here's one I made earlier.
The new one's definitely more evil. If I become the new one, I'm going to attack you guys.
I don't know. I kind of want to see what happens.
Maybe it'll explain.
Iggy, it's your turn. You are still stunned, I believe, so you can make a stun saving throw. It is tense. It's like for the epicness of this tiny little leaf on the end of this large branch and all the tension and drama that's happening in, like zooming out, it's like when you're watching ants on the street. You're like, there it was, so simple. But there's like an atmosphere of Huck is on the brink here.
And my eyes are shaking with as I'm trying to fight this. I got a 12.
12 is not enough. You need to get a 50.
Tears are like if they.
It's grim dark for what I was hoping would be a positive Let's Learn About Huck's Backstory episode. And do I blame that amazing site Kobold Fight Club for telling me this would be an okay monster to throw at you guys? I sure do. But that's okay. End of Iggy's turn. We go back up to Huck. Huck, it is your turn.
Okay. I really need to succeed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
All right. 14. That's higher than 10.
Yes, it
Doesn't
is.
get any more difficult. Okay.
No,
Christ.
it doesn't. Oh my god. And to our audience who have now had to deal with party members almost, well, who knows, like, but Arlington 2 episodes ago and this, we, higher level stuff, higher stakes. Don't worry, shopping episodes galore. We'll be back to that old sassy quartermaster being like, give us your things. So do not worry. Rian, it is your turn.
Okay, come on. Daddy needs a new life. It's an 11. It is an
nice.
11.
All right. Whew. Which brings us up to Ted. Ted,
Hi.
you're free to move. You've shaken off the stun effect. The shadow creature seems entirely distracted. Kind of blade shadow hand into Huck's chest, just zapping it of life force.
I'm just gonna hit him with Eldritch Blast twice.
Sure.
And
Yeah. Roll for an attack.
yeah, sure.
Oh, Ted, you're our only hope.
That's a 23.
Definitely hits.
Oh,
Cool,
classic.
cool. And then, what am I rolling? Oh, where is this thing? This one, and this one. So that's 18
18
damage.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Yes. That brings it there, and that brings it there. It looks rough. Like it's taken a big old hit with these 2 Eldritch Blasts. What do they? Does Ted do anything before kind of casting this warlock spell, or how does it manifest?
Oh, yeah. She's got not a full cloak because she has wings, but like a capelet, and it billows obviously. And she does this thing, and it goes out, and they come out as sparkly flowers. It looks really lovely. If you see it coming towards you, you think you're just about to maybe start dancing or get some disco kisses or something. But then as the flowers get closer, they kind of grow teeth and get very ferocious. So it becomes these 2 almost very menacing orchids that just come at your face.
Nice.
But they're not physical. They're they're just kind of.
I'm also picturing, because it's an
almost
orchid,
transparent.
it's like orc teeth on a flower. It's literally
yes,
an orchid.
it is an orchid. Yes. For sure.
Yeah. And this, does your Eldritch Blast have any? I know some of them are pushing blasts, or they're exploding blasts, or there's some. I don't know if we're at that level yet where you can push people away or do stuff with them.
I don't have any cool things. For that.
It might be a different warlock maybe that can do that kind of bam stuff.
There's a bunch of different feats that you can do with the Eldritch Blast that I did not do because that's just not my build. I can grow so many plants though. So
nice. And as these kind of 2 plants hit in, boom boom, and so the petals explode over you, Huck, you get this you look good as a corpse. All I can say. It is. Is that the end of your turn? You still have your bonus action and movement, I think. And then there's Blueberry, who can take their turn as they wish.
I mean, I have my only bonus. Yeah, I don't really have any good bonus actions. But Blueberry, yes, is still. I think it's gonna. Can I have Blueberry set the orb down and then just try to run into him, fly into him to try to separate him from Huck?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a attack roll. Yeah. So Blueberry sets the orb down on the leaf. We'll say for convenience reasons it's beside Iggy, because Blueberry and Iggy have their thing, so it just drops it down and then charges ahead.
It's like he's just brought Iggy a treat. It has nothing to do with what's going on. He's just do you like it? Yeah. All right. Cool.
Gifts.
That's my truth.
So attack roll.
Yes, and you're looking for a 15.
I got a 21.
That's a hit. So Blueberry barrels into this shadow Huck,
New Huck.
who is now looking half new Huck. Yeah, new, friendlier,
Yeah.
sounder,
Get
kill
all
their friends
the
Huck.
old
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather do damage or like knock the shadow Huck away?
I want to knock him away
Cool.
from Huck.
Let's say Blueberry knocks the shadow Huck off as it's kind of half transformed and away 15 feet, like towards the edge of the branch or the edge of the leaf. Huck is now just by himself, which brings us on to its turn, the shadow creature's turn.
Okay.
I think. And with these sort of shadow creatures, it just like instinctively lashes out at Blueberry, making an attack. Does an 18 hit Blueberry?
Probably. That is turn. Yeah, it does.
Sweet. It takes what's that? 4 and 4, 8 psychic damage as these sort of like terrible mistruths. Oh, all the things you don't want to know about yourself to sort of lash out at Blueberry. Blueberry is not medium or smaller, so because Blueberry is large. Blueberry is a giant dragon. So it is not grappled by these sort of shadow tentacles as it just sort of lashes out and passes through.
Blueberry disappears.
Oof! And Blueberry is no longer in existence.
Well, I mean, they are. They're just in a pocket dimension.
And with that, the Mind Flayer uses half its movement to stand up, and then... Sorry, did I say Mind Flayer? I meant Shadow Huck. You know, the stat block I'm using.
Well, no wonder I'm
Stands
not
up.
down prone.
Moves menacingly again towards Huck to sort of finish this extraction. But cannot do anything else on its
You does sound more negative now, I'll be honest.
Now that
You
I'm
Huck
nearly
is
dead,
not
and
kind of
he's
player.
Hey, don't hate the Flayer. You know, hate the game. Flayer's gotta flay.
End of its turn. Iggy, you are up.
Again?
You are still stunned, I believe.
I still am. Yeah, I'm going to just roll again.
In time, Iggy,
Sorry?
you can see through one of the orbs. You see your reflection in one of those kind of glowing guttation orbs as your kind of tears are welling in your eyes, and you see you looking at you, but you're not. The you that's looking at you is moving. And she says to you, "My offer still stands. Power can be yours. All you need to do is say yes."
Okay,
And
well, I'm going to, like,
Friends?
for a moment, be somewhat tempted by this tempty devil voice, and then steady my resolve at my, like, you know, trying to fight this. And I rolled an 18. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope I can break out of it enough to try and cast hypnotic pattern at the shadow, a new Huck.
Not this turn, unfortunately, because it's
Oh, no,
your
of course.
turn. Yeah. And as you kind of decline and spurn this offer, it goes, boy, I hope your friend doesn't die in the next round. You could have saved him. And you disappear.
And he says round, like he knows we're playing a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very meta. Hope he doesn't die soon, I guess.
Okay, you get the sort of Truman Show thing going. Am I inside a game? What's happening?
It's
So
all
the way that I wake up is I imagine like I'm on a train and that sleepy thing where you didn't even need to do that. You sort of go like, and her glasses fall on her face, but that was unintentional. Anyway.
Yes. The kind of hand on the window, like, jolts away.
Yeah.
And look
Yeah,
around like there's anyone.
Great description. I think everyone in the world can put themselves
There.
there. End of your turn. We're back up with Huck. Huck, you need to make a death saving throw.
Okay, everyone. Okay. If it's gonna be bad, I hope it's a 1 so I can reroll it. Otherwise, I hope it's over 10. Oh,
Actually, sorry,
16.
just before we get to this moment, Oh, brilliant! Amazing. Yes, yes, yeah. Sorry, I forgot at the start of every round. Stuff happens, but amazing. This is even purpose. On the 16, you stabilize, I believe. You're on 0 health, but you're not dying. I think. And I think that's where we should take our break, as we're about to jump back into another one of Huck's happy memories. It's getting a bit dark there, so Huck's happy memories. Yeah, I think as far as I know, you're not drifting away. There's too much at stake here to leave this plane. There's too much story left to tell. Too many friends to play backs with. And we will take our break here. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. We're just going to go off, do your own thing for a while, come back in, chat plans, whatever. If you don't follow us already and you're enjoying the show and you're enjoying this torture, please do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're at Homebrew Quest. And if you haven't already or yet, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't know why YouTube eats those things up like it's candy, but they do, and they love it. So just feed that beast, feed that algorithm, and hopefully get us. And if you don't want to do any of those things, just tell a friend. If you play games with a friend, if you play Jackbox games with a friend, be like, hey, you know, it's like this, but not at all interactive. This show I watch, and give us just help bring this to as many people as possible. Really appreciate that you do that. We will be back in 15 minutes. Until then, grab yourself a drink and do what you need to do. Hey! Welcome back to part 2 of Homebrew, episode 24. Thanks everyone for joining us for a 25 episode long character creation for Huck, I guess. Really appreciate it. After this, we'll be able to start the main campaign. It's been a wild ride. And thank you anyone who's, I saw a couple of followers, a couple of subscribers. Really thank you for that. That is so nice. If you are donating to our coffee, that's going towards Matside, the movement of asylum seekers in Ireland, to kind of be a voice for the voiceless. So we'll donate anything that we get. This is sort of, we all have jobs and we do this every 2 weeks. It's fun as much as it is something we have high hopes for. But we really appreciate that, and we really appreciate your support and for keeping the kind of show going and for chatting to us in chat as well. All makes it part of the fun. Speaking of fun, 2 of the party members are dead. They're almost dying. All of them are stunned. It's not looking good for Ted's crew.
I'm free of the stun.
Iggy's free of the stun. Ted's free of the stun. Blueberry's free of the stun. Arlington got bamfed away to an online conference, and the halflings are down.
Oh, we down.
To catch you up, in case you've just joined us for part 2, which also you can totally do. So if you're sitting there for part 1 and you're like, I should tell a friend, come on in.
Blueberry's technically down as well, which is the saddest, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Blueberry. This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
That's okay. I'll just bring him back afterwards. It's fine.
He's having great fun in that other dimension, though.
Yeah.
It's a little pocket dimension.
Yeah. I choose you, Blueberry. Pocket monster in a pocket dimension. You know the translation. Let's just dive straight back in. Might be worth catching up with people on what they're drinking. I've moved through some beers. Obviously started with the Pirate Bay, and then I went to my, classic homeboy Northern Lights by Whiplash. Loving it. And then I went into a Cheap Flirt by Brew. That was a lot of fun. So if you're in Ireland, you can pick these up. And now for the second half of the show, double puka. We got 2 hooks, we got 2 pukas. That's the way it is. So we'll see. Anyone else swap around? No worries if you haven't. You don't need to shout out some beers.
More Galway Bay. Full sail this time.
Hey, you're on the line.
I'm now drinking the blood of my enemies, and which I have none, so it's just fine.
I'm on a Radler, a Stiegel Radler, but a lemon this time.
Oh, is that the Zitron?
Zitron, yeah. It's nice. I do prefer the raspberry and or the grapefruit. The lemon's a bit sweet.
I'm still nursing my Pike's Place coffee, but I have added filtered water. So yeah. Ooh.
Nice.
I think we're gonna be able to tell that in your gameplay out.
I think so too. It's in a Map Dynamics mug. So there's that. Map Dynamics, a web company. And I forgot the name of the mug itself. The mug, it's so big. That's how I know I'm hydrated. 64 ounces.
There is, I've seen that on Twitch that you can sponsor people to drink water, which is such a cool move. We moved to YouTube just to keep our channel on one streamlined place because we're putting the VODs here anyway. But maybe one day when we have more shows and more stuff, we might go over there on a channel-based thing because there's some people I'm watching. I've been spending those bits to hydrate people. I'm like, hydrate yourself, get water, which is good. So if you are drinking along, keep a side water with you.
If that happens, does that mean you can't drink water unless people spend bits on it?
You must be contractually obliged never to drink any water.
I
feel like that's dangerous, right?
Yeah, it's like drinking games where you're also in the game. You can be but I can just enjoy my beer.
No, that's not the rules. You have to chug it.
Speaking of drinking games, let's dive into this one, which is a game while we drink. It's not. We don't have any rules for the.
We don't permit binge drinking.
No, that's what our St. Patrick's Day episode is for, and you can go watch that. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, I'll try to download Radler in order to get a reroll if you'd like.
Stabilized, you're good. But just before we left for the break, we had another one of these sort of flashback scenes for Huck. So same rules apply. You can kind of jump in, add flavor as you wish. Huck, you are older.
Okay.
How older? I don't mind. It can be years. It can be Well, it can't be days. You're definitely on the cusp of like between your tweens and your teens and maybe your late teens, because fairies live a very long time and can sort of hit puberty at different places. Sure.
So I'm
You're
like
sitting.
45, but actually 12.
It's time for me to have to talk with you, son. You're 45. You're sitting on the bank of a river which runs through the castle gardens where you live, and sitting beside you is your father, King Puck.
Okay.
And this is maybe only a handful of memories you have of him like this. Sitting down with him, you know, is sort of a rare treat. He's too busy partying and making fun of people. Just dissing people and be like, "Hey, walrus." You know.
Yeah, what's Vagabond? Who's my warden now? Can I turn around?
Oh yeah. So, did you think you ever made fun of Vagabond's walrus ducks in a move to impress your father?
I mean, it wouldn't have been in a move to impress my father, but I would have definitely done the walrus thing. I mean, having not met a walrus, I have done it myself in real life, so I can't imagine Huck wouldn't have done it.
So now you have an elephant warden, which there definitely is a race in D&D based on elephants.
Oliphant?
I
No.
have a question about that, because it was, we'll have an elephant until Huck figures out how to make fun of him. But I feel like going from tusks to tusks, that'd be a pretty quick journey to figuring out that joke. It's like a week-long elephant warden.
Fair,
The thing is, with the elephant warden, it never forgets. So you really don't want to, like, if you cross that line, you've got an enemy for life. You know, walrus is very forgetful.
Yeah, teaching in moderation.
Yeah.
Like, so you can make as much fun of the walrus as you like.
But the elephant's not going to let it go.
Yeah, elephant, yeah.
That's a good point. So you had an elephant warden for a day. And now
Figuring out something so difficult. It's like a little tiny ladybird that's like, try and do an impression of me. Harder, maybe.
Yeah, brilliant. Your warden is now a tiny ladybird, and is on and sitting currently on your on your hand. You know,
with the wrinkles, because it's, you know, it has to be a bit kind of wise and aged. I imagine.
You've just come from a musical number about wanting to be king, in which this ladybird was like, "This child is getting wildly out of wing," because it also sings. And it's also a British man.
It's a lady secretary bird.
And it buzzes away. They don't buzz, but it flies away, you know, for quality time with your dad. King Puck has a long beard and a sort of thick mustache which droops over, but clean shaven on the cheeks, like a classic goatee sort of thing. It's a long goatee. Two large, intricate horns grow from your father's brow. He has a thick forehead, and you can see the ridges of the horns under his skin, and they surface out at the top of his head and stretch backwards. And sitting comfortably between them, a very simple crown. If not made from the finest gold, it would look like a Christmas party hat. Huck, how do you think you feel about your parents? What's your impression of your dad, your mom? Like, what do you think growing up from where we last left off to now has been like?
Well, I guess it's been pretty carefree. I mean, there's parties all the time. I'm a prince, you know.
To clarify, you've never been invited to those parties.
What? Well then, I mean, every night has been me trying to sneak into the parties of my whole life. And I guess I will have become a man when I finally sneak into the party. That's my rite of passage now.
To clarify, is this the first time we've said out loud that his father is King Puck?
Yes.
I think it might be, yeah.
I wrote it in
Just
very
expect a
big
reaction.
writing on my notes. It's been big for me. I've been like, King Puck.
Yeah. Your brother is King Puck. You are Huck. They didn't get invented with names. What can I say?
Just with wardens.
just with people who come in outside of the Bond family. Your Ladybird Warden doesn't have a name, so we will give her a name now. Because she's like an Angela Lansbury sort of character. Is that what you were describing, Lucy?
Like a kind of a wrinkled, wise old woman, ladybird, yeah.
Like a sort of Judi Dench, Angela Lansbury, you know. Yeah, cool.
Ash
I don't have.
coffee. That could maybe work.
Pike. Yeah,
Pike.
Pike's
Oh, Pike.
Yeah, there you go. Mike.
Pike.
The ladybird.
Either that or filtered water. So, although my
Wait,
filtered water is filtered in a Brita, so it is Brita water.
Oh, that would work.
Britta's a good name.
Yeah.
Brita
Pike.
Pike is so strong.
Brita Pike. Yeah. Right. That is now in my notes. Brita Pike, your ladybird warden. And Huck's gone through a few. So not that they'll ever come up, but any other names? I think one of them was probably called Cheap Flirt. That's a brew. And they spelt it cheap like the bird, because there's a bird on the can. It's not CHEA, it's CHEE. Sorry, I'm doing that blurry thing again. But it was nice. So one of your, maybe the elephant person wasn't called Cheap Flirt, but just how quick they came in and out. So it's like, they're, your parents are dicks, it seems. So they're horrible people. And they just called that elephant a Cheap
Yeah,
Flirt.
I mean, I was quite happy about my parents, but they do seem to hate friendship. So
Yet throw all these
Despise it.
amazing parties.
Despise
So
Big fans of acquaintances. But you get any closer.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go to a party until you learn not to relate to people.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
I'll get to that.
It is King Puck. If anyone's familiar with Irish traditions, Puck Fair happens every year in Killorgan, down in Kerry. They go to the mountains, they grab a goat, they bring the goat down, and they put it in a cage for 3 days. It's not bad. They put it on.
It sounds
the tent.
terrible.
It does sound bad, yeah.
Yeah, it's protected by kings, I think. I don't know. We've been doing it for a while. They got a goat, they bring it down, they display it in the.
Do you have kings?
No.
Well, I mean,
it's like an old tradition.
Certain islands have some people who call
Yeah,
themselves
there's-
king.
Yeah. And it wears a little crown, and then the kind of queen of the puck is like a local squirrel girl who gets to dance with the goat, and then they put the goat back in the mountain. It's a weird tradition. Kerry's a strange place. If you ever come
Really
on,
weird.
go there. But like Puck Fair in Killorgan, the best thing about it is pubs.
It
are
raises some
bars.
questions about Huck's mom.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But in this case, she is just to avoid that issue. She is an elf of the gloaming court, just a regular old elf, just a classic Tiernan Og elf. Your mom is the equivalent of Oisin's lady from Oisin and Tiernan Og, whatever her name is. What is her name? Fuck. I should know these things. This is literally why I started this show. Anyway,
I mean, I should
I'll
also.
figure it after having had a couple of months. Killorgan's a weird place. This is what I was going to say. Real Irish lore, not lore, it's a real thing. Pubs normally close. Pubs and bars normally close at 2 a.m. During the Puck Fair, they can stay open to 3 a.m. And according to the Wikipedia page about it, to the dismay of the police. The local authority aren't happy about it, but it happens.
3 a.m. Wow.
They
Next
kind of given us like at least till 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I went
have
to
an
university
arbitrary time?
in New Orleans where bars don't close. And if they do, they close at 5 a.m. to like clean and then reopen at 6, but you don't have to leave. It's just like they shut the doors and they mop and whatever. And so it's so weird everywhere else in the world. I'm like, why is this? I don't understand. 'Cause that's where I like learned to drink. In a place where you could do it in your car and on the streets and all night long. And everywhere else is like, no, we're done at 2. Sorry, go home.
Did you get down with a little goat though? Once a year, if you were chosen.
Mardi Gras gets real weird, Lucy.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We should. This is a promise to the audience and to Ash. One time we will play this game or a game where it's technically drinking time in LA and not here because it's unfair that Ash gets to just drink coffee. We will set a game at 4 a.m. in the morning for us. Regular time for you, so you can enjoy in the libations.
I can day drink, just not on a weekday. That's
Yeah. No, you've just got to come to. She's just going to come to Ireland. It's fine. It's grand.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
next year.
We cut back to the scene where Huck is having a Cook. Oh, man, what a dick of a dad. Your dad does go, okay, hey, Squirt, how'd you like being a prince?
It's pretty good there, Da. You know, there's the getting into the parties or trying to get into the parties. That's good. There's the, loads of food and great trees and forests. What could I want? Other than getting into the parties, I am want for nothing.
You know the rules. Like, we can't be having these parties with you there.
I understand, and I wink at my father.
And he winks back. And you're winking about totally different things. It's like, yep, understood. Your wee warden there has been telling me you're getting on well with magic. You've got quite the imagination.
You try to do some things, and there it is. It's good crack. And you have to be able to make the fireworks with the words somehow when you're not allowed to go to the parties.
Well, that's it. It seems to be that you try to make some things, and there it is. And your imagination, Huck, creativity is a powerful thing. You'd be surprised how real something can feel when you can truly imagine it. And
once you imagine things, that's where they are. That's the way it is.
Well, that's the thing, Huck. That's only for you. No one else can do that. And I'm not saying just because it's imagined doesn't mean it's not true, that the feelings you have and everything there doesn't mean. But you have a true talent for just whipping things up, and there they are.
Well, that's just the way it is, I guess. Do you want me to whip something up now? Here's a horse. And I'll whip up a horse.
Roll a d20 just straight. Let's just figure out if this happens.
17.
Yeah.
I'll call him Steagle. Very close to Rattler.
The horse clops off, and King Puck goes, I mean, look, as well as anyone else, I love playing games. And
games.
Do you want a sup? And he hands you nothing in his hand. Okay. He's cracked open nothing, and he hands it over to you.
I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna grab it with two hands. In fact, after the one hand, it'll dip down a bit. Grab it with two hands, and then go. Glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, you can taste whatever you were picturing that was in that. It's literally, and it is. You look down and you were holding a cup.
Jam. That's what I was imagining.
Fizzy jam.
Fizzy jam.
So, in fairness to some of the sour craft beers that are out there, fizzy jam is not a bad descriptor of how the fucking taste.
Some fizzy jam. Bit lemony, bit grapefruity,
And listen here, Squirt. Is there anything I can help you with? And in the moment, Keelan, you get the feeling that this question can both apply to this memory, but also whatever you ask can also be applied to your situation now, like your fight with the Shadow Huck. And so whatever you ask can kind of can affect both situations in one. So feel free to ask honestly anything, and if it doesn't make sense in the scene, so to speak, it's just something Huck might want to know, and we can apply it after the fact. So it's your dad's basically saying the power of the Gloaming Court is currently in your hands.
Okay. I didn't ken what to ask for, but I think I know I've been, you noticed I stopped making fun of all the wardens because they're kind of my only friends at the moment, and I can't get to the party. So I think I want as many friends as I can have, and then to keep all of my friends safe, to have a great time with my friends, and to be able to keep them safe and protected. That's all I could want from life.
My wee boy, do you see those parties and you see what myself and your mum are up to? And I guess what I'm trying to say is don't preoccupy yourself with what you think your story should be and what you think others expect of you. I mean, we go to parties, but that doesn't have to be your fate. And I mean, you'll spend half your life living up to someone else's expectations.
Aye, well, so far I'm just living up to my own, if it helps. And I will, and I will get to my fate. And it's Fete.
It's a brilliant piece of wordplay, and it tickles him mightily as he lets out a regal laugh. Ha 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 ha! You know the way kings laugh. Yeah. That's
Jam
the
was
classic.
spluttering. Hey.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time, he stands up and he just sort of walks into the river and he starts like kicking around. And this is the dad you know more than anything else. The dad who just truly lives in the moment. And it's infuriating because you could be mid-conversation. He's like, I'm just going to do this. And he goes and he's just like kicking, he's splashing water on himself. He's like, you've set him off. And to the sound of him laughing, you find yourself back on the leaf. And Reen, you've stabilized.
Oh, amazing.
Huck, you are up with 10 hit points. Reen, you're up with 5. Anyone who's stunned is no longer stunned. And in this moment, as Huck kind of rises up and imagines what a world would be like, surrounded by his friends and protected by his friends, and as the shadow is sort of standing over you, we're going to go top of the round and put the shadow last. Because you now have unified yourself in such a way where you're no longer kind of acting on your own accord and you're acting in unison. There's just sort of an understanding here that by working together in a classic TV sitcom, let's wrap it up in 30 minutes sort of way, you can work stronger and harder than working alone. And because you were all in that memory, you all know why this has happened. Mm-hmm. That Huck has such a strong bond on friendship and wanting to be liked and loved by people and like and love people in return. And people even just to know who he is at the deepest core of his soul. That you find yourself...
You know that he obviously didn't mean to kill Arlington that time. He really does love his friends.
Yeah.
Oh no, Arlington isn't here, so he's not counted in this delicious friend memory. So if anything, it's like now that Arlington's gone,
we're closer than ever.
Wherever Arlington is, he also feels this warm, fuzzy hug. It is top of the round. Huck, you are up. And this shadow creature has sort of formed into a puka version of you.
Okay, so like an animal.
It's your face, it's your hair color, it's your expression, but just with rabbit ears.
Is it his hair color or the color of the wig?
Yeah.
His natural hair color.
Okay.
She's also red, which is a funny thing that I'll be wearing a red wig.
And that comes from true puka lore. Apparently pukas can shapeshift into anything they want, but one thing they can't do is change the color of their fur.
Mm.
For whatever reason, I don't know. I didn't write the book on pukas, but it's kind of a cool little sign. So that's if you're ever and actually we started this show, just to go full circle, on the eve of May, which is when pukas are most rampant and wild in Ireland. So mind yourself. I think I mentioned to people, bury some rotten meat in your garden and protect yourself from the puka on our very first actual episode 1. You go back, it's there. Yeah.
One of the many reasons to bury rotten meat in your garden.
Yeah. I don't think people took that call.
Protect, and if we did, we wouldn't be here today. That's the top of the round. Huck, you are up. Shadow creature in front of you, shadow version of you, and you know that this is what you actually look like. It looks like you, but not a halfling and a puka. And this is you, but whatever transformed you into halfling, you're not quite sure how that happened yet. But give us 30 minutes.
All right. Well then, I'm gonna say, the real Huck would never hurt any of my friends, or try to kill me for that matter. And I'm going to, in a classic sense, fire. Well, you know what? First of all, let's go with a cantrip of a firebolt, just straight off. It's not really. It's just practical in D&D terms, unfortunately, for what I'm trying to do. But it's not quite as dramatic as Huck. He's still tired, so he's warming up with a firebolt. I hurl a small flame at him, and it's 1d10 damage.
So you need to roll to hit first, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for 15. Yeah. You're looking for 15.
Haha! It is 27.
Definitely hits.
Sweet.
Do
So
your damage.
1d10 worth of damage. Suck it, me. Where's my d10s? That is a d10. 6. 6 damage. And then I'm going to use Quickened spell, which allows me to use my sorcerer points to cast a spell that would normally be an action as a bonus action. By the way, I presume that since I lost concentration, all of my meteors disappeared. So I can't possibly have had concentration.
Yeah, I think I've been benevolent enough today. Maybe. I feel bad, but
I'm going under the presumption that they're gone. I mean, it's a concentration. Cool. I passed out.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, but all 3 shots at the lad. So do you want the 1 attack? 3 rolls to see if I hit. So I'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
First.
Yeah, 3 rolls, see if you hit.
Natural 20.
Brains.
12. That's a miss, right?
Yeah.
And 15.
Hits.
Sweet. So that's 2 hits. That's 2d6 per hit.
And you're also going to double one of those 2d6 because it's a natural 20. It's a critical hit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, redemption. But I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, truth. Truth's cool.
So it's 2d6 per Scorching Ray. That's 2 hits. And then I'm doubling one.
Yes, you can roll just 66 if you want either. If you just want to double the dice you roll.
Yeah, that'll just be easier. Oh, wow. That's one of the worst rolls. 3 ones.
Cool.
A 6, a 2, and a 3. So that is 11, 14.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Not really, but yeah.
No, it's like this creature is looking hurt. It's looking shriveled. Its tentacles aren't flailing out in the same sort of aggression.
And then I yell, "How do you like them apples?"
That one will do.
Good.
I mean, it laughs. It shares your sense of humor. It's like, but not heartily, not like a king would. And yeah, this you're just like firing off fire after fire after fire. I need you to roll 2 d20s because we're talking wild magic here.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about any of the. No, that's not a wild magic. Oh, and that's not a wild magic. Although I almost broke my laptop screen.
Well, we're good. The shadow looks wilted. It looks almost on its last legs. Rian, you are up. You've just been sort of enlightened by the power of friendship has brought you to your feet. And you have a shadow Huck in front of you and a regular Huck. Just a relentless. That's 5 attacks in 6 seconds. So every second, just fire is blasting its way at the shadow creature. Hey, how do you want to steal this kill? No, I'm kidding.
I'd like to take out my sword, look at both of them, and just go, I don't know which the real.
I was going to say, can I point to the other guy and say, he's the fake?
I think it's the one with the ears.
That one has rabbit ears.
Oh, your heart!
Oh, it's so tough to decide which one to kill. Oh. And then I'd like to attack the fake one.
Well, did you roll to see if you'd attack me or not?
No comment.
What did you get?
So I'm attacking with Fraggle, so that is not good. That's 14.
Just misses. In what is a hilarious shape, and you'll remember later days from now, kind of like time spent being like, we'll record this just before I kill him. You do a kind of cool dude move that doesn't really pay off.
And with a bonus action, I'd like to attack with a dagger.
Yeah.
So double two second hand attack. I don't add my proficiency.
Don't think so. I don't think you're proficient in 2 weapon fighting.
Yeah, and I do add my dex modifier. But I
Should do. Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Listen,
That might be true, but let's see what you get in the dice first.
yeah, that's a 9. So I'm like, ha, just kidding, you. Yeah. All right, and then I'd like to. As I attacked, he can't take an opportunity attack against me, so I'd like to slowly back away.
It's interesting that you bring it up. What's the name of the subclass you picked as a rogue?
Swashbuckler.
Cool. Swashbuckler. Yeah, Swashbuckler in here, coming in with the ones and twos.
He's certainly doing the buckling part. Perhaps not the swash.
You need to work on your swash. That's your problem.
Yeah.
I'll buckle no swash, Arian. That's what it gets you.
Well, I was thinking it was all swash and no buckle.
Neither of them are
Ted,
good.
you were up. Shadow
What?
creature is.
Is there anyone in between me and the shadow creature right now?
Not this time.
All right, let's do this again. I'm gonna pull out my wand of wonder and go. This time, I know what I'm doing. That's my battle cry. See what I got. Ooh, I rolled a 67.
67. I closed the tab I had it on. So if you have it open, feel free to jump in. Oh no, this doesn't look good.
Wild magic.
I think it means she hugs us all. That's what it looks like.
I should have got an Eldritch Blast. This is like there's only 2 numbers that do what's about to happen to me, and one of them is 67. So let's see. I shrink.
All right.
That's going to be
So-
really cute.
I become half the size. My weight is 1/8 of my weight. Yeah. Yeah.
That'll do. That'll scare him.
You
Yeah.
didn't mention how much damage you deal when you shrink.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, this is
Shaking his
hilarious.
confidence, like, look at this diet I'm doing. Ooh.
We're all laughing at Ash as if she hasn't done the biggest pro gamer move in wizardry history, which is when you're in a wizard battle and you're changing from shape to shape to shape to shape to shape, the only thing you can do is become so small you become bacteria and give the person a cold. So you're
Good
now,
Disney reference.
Syria.
yeah, you're now the size of a paramecium.
I'm not. I'm just half my size. So
I was setting myself up for. I'll tell you what a paramecium. That's a paramecium. Because Huck has been in my head all week. So you're half your size.
as a bonus action, I'm gonna throw a dart at him.
Darts at half the size.
Teeny tiny dart, or
It'll grow in size, I think, when she.
It's
once
just
it
as
leaves her-
poisonous.
I mean, it's probably
It's
slightly less poison.
So it's
Yes,
it's
we know how
18.
we-
It's
how it
18
works.
to hit.
Yeah. You hit him, definitely.
And it's a 4.
Ooh, that poison damage burns.
Yep. That's it.
That was amazing. That was
And
incredible.
then I go, oh.
You became half your size and like fired a dart. So is there anything you'd like to add to kind of how that plays off? So like, let's just say the poison damage is done. Dart is just the name of the attack. Like you can do whatever you want as how that kind of comes together.
Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna say that he doesn't even see it. It's just like a little almost like the size to him is like a bee's stinger that just kind of appears in his skin and hurts more than a bee sting should. Is basically it's still just like not that much, but he's like, oh shit, ow.
And all of you,
So
as is his
sad.
namesake, wonder how that happened. It's like, what the? Whoa! You're in awe. You're like, that's magic. Icky.
And then I go, I meant to do this.
I I'm
You
gonna
know
think it was an improvement on knocking the guys out, so that's good. I am gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern at the shadow. So he has to do a wisdom saving throw.
Cool. He got a 19.
Oh no, yeah, didn't work. Never mind.
That's okay. What are you drawing on your slate?
What I was going to draw was, I know that Huck is currently wearing like a wig that makes him look like a little red apple. So I was going to make a pattern of loads of apples. So he thought Huck's head is everywhere, and he's going to try and get all the heads. And to just go with his like, how do you like them apples? Bit. I'm just trying to like,
Good job.
help out my friends. Good joke there. But because I know he, I'm confused, but it didn't work because maybe apples aren't that scary as a pattern. Shocking. As someone who actually doesn't like fruit, they are scary.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you haven't like hit the core of his fears. But apples do kind of dance around him, and whatever it was, maybe that tiny little bee stings wasn't there at that moment of flicker, which if not a pattern would have set off. Get the feeling that like great spell would have been good there. Just not affecting the shadow.
I'm hoping maybe as a bonus to like inspire Huck, and maybe to have done so by making all those apples and everything, and making him just sort of see.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Thanks. So yeah, I'll give you a D8 there, Huck.
Cool.
Of inspiration.
You are inspired by this orchard of apples that appear around you. You feel scrumptabulous. That's a word I just came up based on scrumptabulous and scrumping. So. It is the shadow creature's turn. You can see on its face, all of you see, it's shocked to be alive. It's like, what the? Well, hey, everything's coming up, Huck. And
surprise, we're terrible.
And hold on, let me figure out what the actual thing is here. Huck, it points a finger towards you. And you can feel its voice become your voice in your mind. And you need to make a wisdom saving throw. If you have any sort of advantage against charm effects.
It gave me an advantage to charisma within this day, game-wise, but 2 sessions ago.
No, it's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As it tries
I'm going to
dominate your mind.
I'm going to use my sorcerer's ability to give myself advantage. Once a day.
Yes.
The downside of this being that because I'm messing around with a lot of wild magic with my particular homebrewed version of a wild sorcerer, I am likely to wild surge if I have to cast another spell.
Very true.
Unless it's a level 1 spell or a cantrip. That is... Oh, I gave myself advantage. Thank Christ. Okay. 13? Oh, what's my wisdom? I rolled a 4, so the first time round. 13. Straight 13.
So the DC you're trying to hit is 15. However,
15.
However, you have a D8 in your back pocket.
Oh yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
All right. Thank Christ. Good work, Lucy. Yeah, 6.
Nice. You hear your own voice. You kind of actually think these are your friends. These are not your friends. These are your enemies. But through the amazing scene we've just gone through, these are your friends. And you squash that voice that isn't yours in your head, and you are not dominated. You are undominated. I don't know. You're fine. You tried to take control of your mind and did not.
You can't mess with my friends. We've been through thick and thin, I say in my head.
It is your turn. You're up.
Okay. Then, I kind of just want to punch him in the face, mostly because I'm running out of magic. I will use a Scorching Ray again. Just straight up. Point the finger at him, point blank, because he has to. Was he close to me? He's reaching his finger out to me. So I'm going to mockingly reach my finger out to him in the same fashion, but then fire 3 Scorching Rays at him.
Nice.
That's a 19.
Hits.
3. That's not going to hit. And an 11. So the 11 is 19 again.
Oh, nice. So 2 of them hit. As again, it's been one fluid motion. I want to remind you that like no gap in the kind of action economy is ended. It's just Huck firing blast after blast. Kind of, I don't know if you're walking forward or not, but like you're just continuously just firing off these spells, and fire being kind of your go-to type of evocation. They're hitting hard. 2 of them hit. Roll your damage.
Okay. Aha! There you go. There's a roll. We're talking 16.
Huck, if this was your favorite local pub and your friendly local bartender was pumping on a pint of fresh ale and served it up to you after a day of hard work, how would you want to down that?
I would. Okay, so I am firing at him in the mocking way, walking towards him with my fire, and I guess with how many? 4 shots. So I'll say stay with the first shot, away with it's 3 shots, but I only got 2 of them. But it's it's 4 dice. So I'll say stay away from my friends with each particular shot, and then I'll punch it in the face.
Nice.
Punch it in the stupid face.
The moment your fist connects with this shadow creature, the golden orb that is sitting on this leaf explodes in color. And you feel yourself just sort of levitating up, and as it all spills into you, you regain all of your memories at once. You've also used Bending Luck today, so I need you to roll on the Wild Magic table.
That's just going to happen.
Yeah, that's just going to happen straight up.
I could kill everyone.
I have it ready here.
Oh, that's a 20. I don't need to roll the table. This is why I don't use this to anyone who is watching and wondering. Because it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
26.
26. As you fly up into the air, and as all this kind of swirling action happens around you, and we, just for anyone watching and for anyone playing, we probably have about, if it's okay, we can pick this up next episode, but we can also finish it in about 20 minutes, I think, if that's okay with everyone. We can come to a conclusion here. A small yellow butterfly, which is probably actually, now that I think of it, a giant butterfly, lands on your shoulder, and you feel your pocket clink with coins as 1d8 gold just appears in your pocket, and the butterfly flies off. That's all that happened. You've got actually for pure video game logic, let's say the shadow creature explodes into coins, and you pick up your loot.
The 1d8 of coins is a 4.
You find 4 gold coins. That's how much this boss was worth. However,
are they normal size, or are they shrunk to our size?
It rains coins. No, they're normal size, so it's not pure chaos. At that moment in time, you're all brought into another memory. Huck, this one is recent. And you feel, as this truth wraps around you, you feel in the moment, and this is what, we can chat about this off stream, off game. I kind of said there might be kind of a reward for coming to the end of your sort of main backstory. But what I'm suggesting might be the fun reward is that you feel, picturing Quail disappearing out of your control, picturing Arlington disappearing out of your control, you feel that if you want, this is what I'm thinking, when you roll on your wonky magic table, you can roll a d4 and have it happen that many rounds later instead. Cool. So you can control it for a time, and then it will happen.
Yep, deal.
That sounds kind of fun.
That sounds good.
But you'll also know the result before it happens. So you'll know what the result is, and then you can decide to kind of absorb it into you, and then roll a d4, and it will happen that many rounds later.
Perfect.
But you can also happen to happen right then, because like butterfly, coins in your pocket, you're like, I'll take the money now.
Yeah.
Another memory floods back to you. This one is recent. It's very recent. You are Huck. You are Huck the Puka in Tirnanog in the other world. You have snuck away from your warden. Britta Pike has been around a long time, probably your longest serving warden, this little ladybird, and you snuck away, and you're walking through the forest near the castle grounds where you live. It is that same perpetual dusk it always is in the other world. And you hear laughing. It's specifically you hear people around your age playing a game. 4 or 5 elves. One of them is wearing a backwards cap, so you know they're the leader. They're playing jacks.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna rush over and start talking to them, trying to play jacks.
Everyone can be a youthful member of this gang, should they wish. But the first one pipes up and goes, "Huh, what's with your ears? They're all droopy. You look stupid."
Stupid, yeah.
I don't
Stupid
like
ears.
Can't
I
play
don't
jacks
look
with us. No, those ears.
Can I change my ears?
Yeah.
I make my ears droopier, even bigger and droopier.
Oh.
I double down.
Oh, don't touch him. He's diseased. He's diseased. He'll turn you into a rabbit.
That's so cool. Can you give me droopy ears?
Oh, you don't want
can.
droopy ears.
Droopy again. Give them all droopy ears. Can I do that with my
Oh,
magic?
no.
I don't know. I don't
what
know.
the
Oh, no way.
I don't want droopy ears. Get
Now we're
away
all the
from
same.
me.
Now we're all the same. We can be friends.
Please.
I like my other ears.
Leader.
Can I have
I
my
like
other
to think
ears
all
back,
of it.
please?
The ones that are unhappy, I'll fix. The other one I won't. Yeah. Lucy's one will stay droopy eared. I'll be like, and then I'll laugh loads, and I'll be like, "Now let's play some jacks. We're all the same."
Lucy, what's the name of your little elf child in the forest?
Oh, probably Merlot.
Brambly Merlot. What an elf name.
That's a great name.
It looks like this
Probably.
coin is called Merlot Value Central. It's not. It's Val Central, but it looks as cheap as So Merlot Value Central.
Brambly, don't you know who he is? Like he just cursed you. You don't want to be hanging out. That's Prince Huck. Like we don't want to be.
Oh, that's Prince. I thought they were just messing. Like there's no real Prince. You know.
I didn't curse you. I just changed your ears a bit just to show you what it was like.
You're cursed.
No, it's just like dreadlocks. Snack them around.
She can change it whenever she wants. Or he.
Nice one. But we can't play jacks with you. Can't you just like magic whatever the jacks you want? That's cheap.
But that's not a game. A game has to be done with the rules. All the rules
That's
include
right.
magic.
He's a cheater. He's a filthy cheater. He's a filthy rich posh boy cheater.
And he smells probably as well. I'd say.
Oh.
My ears floppy. I didn't like it.
Okay. A new tack.
Nobody wants to play with you, Prince Hook. You don't have any friends.
I've got loads of friends. And I call for Britta. Britta!
Your little lady friend doesn't count.
She's not a little
Oh,
lady friend. She's a lady bird.
They've gotten really inner city, and that's not the intention here. So they're just dickhead kids. That's a flavor. Your little lady friend. I'll make them D4. Let's just make them all D4 because they're pricks.
Let's play for it. Let's see what he's got. But no magic.
I promise, no magic.
If you think you can play jacks with us, you can play for 1 round.
I'm the best at jacks.
How would you know? Doesn't have any friends.
I have loads of friends. I'm gonna.
And they take out a bucket of jacks. Since this game has begun, I don't mean this game of jacks. I mean literally homebrew. I have promised that I would have mechanics for how we play jacks. I have failed you on that promise. I have not delivered.
I'm looking forward to
mechanics.
finally learning how to play.
I mean, the game itself is quite simple, but it's hard to do.
It's just
nice.
sleight of hand checks, I guess. But that's
Yeah.
kind of boring. So let's all roll a d20. These little street urchins get a +3. They're good at jacks. That's their game.
14.
6.
I got a natural 20.
Ah, of course you did.
That's what we call them, jacks. It's not the name. It's just the nickname.
I got a 6 and I'm gutted.
So Hook, you work your way through the gang. You instantly destroy the kid you put rabbit ears on. You're like, out of the game.
I just go away and
Um,
fight.
it's a tough battle with the kid Gav's playing, which I guess is another kid called. Not that they'll ever come up again.
Gluten-free.
Weights and measures.
Weights and measures.
Weights and measures. And you're known colloquially as that because you like to wait and you like to measure your odds. You're a wily kid. You're the brains.
Wily. Yeah, I'll take that.
So two for two, and then the kid I'm playing, let's just call them Whiplash. They're the gruff, they're the brawn of the group. Just barely scrapes a win with a 16. What did you roll, Hook? Sorry.
14. Unless I like
14,
get to add these stats, I just do the start dice.
But the leader of the gang, backwards cap and all, is being played by Ash. And I think we've run out of beers. First time ever on the show.
My name's Pat. It's short for patently stupid. But you call me Jax, because I'm the best at Jax.
Yeah.
I sound like a pirate.
Pirate Bay. But Bay is with an E instead of a Y. There are Pirate Bay. Floors you with Jax. Like, completely humiliates you. And at that moment in time, like, all the gang turn against you. They're like, oh, I told you weren't good at this. Yeah, I thought he wasn't good at this.
Yeah, you're not good. Yeah.
All right.
And you can feel, if you don't mind a little bit of railroading into the backstory you sent me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because this is where we're going
Go
to conclude the show. All right. You rush into the trees away from this gang. You thought, I finally snuck away from Britta Pike. I finally made a group of friends, and they were horrible people. They were human. You might look back in years to come and go, they were just kids, but like still, where do they learn it? Their parents? Parents do better. You feel that kind of hot globs of tears running through your eyes, and the same questions keep running through your head. Questions that you, up until this moment in time, thought the puka was asking you, who you chased into the forest as a halfling. But actually you're asking them of yourself. And you realize that. And the questions of, who are your parents? What does that mean to you? Where are they from? Who are you? All these kind of thoughts are running through your brain. You ask yourself about your life and whether it makes you happy. And you realize that because you are so closely tied to King Puck, and you can never escape his shadow, that something has to change. And you run and run deeper and deeper into the wilderness. Your puka form is changing and shifting with your emotions. You go from rabbit to hound to goat to donkey. You keep changing. You just keep forming yourself into everywhere you go. It's just so, every time you catch your reflection, you're someone new. And that's when you see it. You see a glimpse of a massive hill. There's roots and vines covering an entrance, which seems to be the entrance to an old ruin that's sticking out. And although you've never been here, you know this 100% to be a fey crossing. You know going through this ruin will lead you away from the other world in Tir na Nog and into the material plane. If you do this, you will leave behind your life and start anew. No connection to the king, no reputation, no isolation, no loneliness. You can be your own person. But the thing is, you might be tempted to return. Your strength might waver. So you need to forget everything. You need to forget who you were. You need to forget what you were. You need to fully believe you belong in the material plane, that you are one of them. The last place your family would ever think to look is for you among what you know is the enemy. You get angry at yourself for even thinking it. And as you see your reflection in a still pool of water begin to shift and change, the words halfling, halfling, clear as day, you hear it in your mind. It's an angry voice. It's yelling, it's laughing, it's crying. The shock of you being a halfling is so overwhelming. You're angry at yourself for even thinking it. But then you're happy at yourself for thinking it. You're laughing, you're crying. You're not really sure what emotions you're feeling. You're not sure how you feel at all. And you remember it in Huck the Halfling's mind as saying, this is what you'll get, and it's no more than you deserve. but you hear this scream clearer now in your own voice. And you hear it sort of demuddled. You can almost hear that sort of of the shadow puka you fought. This is what you'll be, so you can know more of what you deserve. And you transform yourself. It's almost impossible. It's painful, into a halfling and step through, forgetting everything and placing a gas on yourself to never come back and never learn the truth. And as you float down from the sky on this leaf, you have a choice. You can be Huck the Halfling. You can be Huck the Puka. And we don't have to make that choice now. We can make that choice in 2 weeks' time. When we come back to the show, we can talk about the mechanic, the outside of game stuff. Becoming Huck the Puka doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to your dad and mom in the court. It's just that you know who you are now. And you are Prince Huck of the Gloaming Court. Your father is King Puck, king of all fairies, and king of mischief and king of chaos. And you have quite a big role to play in this world because of who you are. And your place, it totally makes sense now why you went to the Fianna. The one place they wouldn't expect. Everything the Pixie said to you, it's like, why are you wearing that? That's kind of weird. Makes sense now. Everything you've done up until that moment when you stepped through that door has to be tried to separate yourself from the pain of not being allowed to have friends. And as you look around to Rian and to Iggy and to Ted and how quickly you became friends with Ted at that, you realize it wasn't you ever holding yourself back. It was someone else's expectations. And that is where we will end today's show. I'm totally up to you. Sorry, anyone watching, Keelan the player knew none of this. So this wasn't something we discussed. So huge bullabus and kudos for just rolling with it and being like, okay, I'll take this backstory and just see what I can do with it. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. And we'll pick up there. The kind of reward, I guess, is that you can control your wild magic and use it as you will. And as we level up, we might turn that D4 into like 2D4 and choose the result or whatever. We might just I like the idea that people don't constantly swap out equipment, that they just sort of grow with the equipment they have. So we'll try and make a way that can sort of scale with level. That's the end of the show. Thanks for sticking with us a little bit longer than we normally go. I think we're about 10, 15 minutes over. A huge thank you to our tech team for keeping the stream going. Thank you to you for watching, and anyone who did donate to our coffee account. Huge thanks for supporting a cause we strongly believe in. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We will have Wes back, I think. Ash, totally fine. I think we only kind of said like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but if you want to come back, you're more than welcome to. If you're busy and schedules clash, we'll talk about it off the stream, and we'll make it work whatever way it needs to. But happy to stick around. I know that's kind of weird because it's not depression, it's life, but we'll talk about that later. Until then.
I'm good having Ted.
Yeah. Also, you're just more than welcome to stay with us forever. If your Tuesdays are free at noon, just hang out with us.
The useless pixie.
What are you talking about?
I like your style. It's very Huck.
Yes. Sorry, before we go, where can people find you? Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Oh, I don't know. I know. Yeah, sure. No, don't go to my home. You can see. I just did. I think I mentioned this last week as well. But my most recent thing was I ran a mini campaign, a 6-episode campaign of Hillfolk, which is an amazing game. And that was with an awesome cast. It was Alejandro Cejudo, Luis Carrazzo, Xander Jeanneret, Becca Scott, and Abria Iyengar. That can be found on Good Time Society YouTube. It's really, really wonderful. I'm all over the internet. I don't know. Mostly I say political stuff right now. So sorry about that. But stuff's weird in LA. But in July something, I'll be on a Comic-Con panel, which is on the internet this year as opposed to not on the internet. I don't know. You can just Google me.
Yeah. Go find Ash Minnock everywhere, and never apologize for feeds being political. I think it's really important that we do that. So, And yeah, look, we're an escapism drinking show, but I think you know that behind that is a backbone of like good justice and causes. So I don't think anyone who follows you from here will embrace that political side of your feed. It's important.
Also, I had a very prolific fan for a couple of years, so I have about 45 GIFs. So if you just look up Ash Minnick in any GIF thing, you can use GIFs of me. That's where you can find me, on Giphy.
We all now have a new goal, I think.
Yeah.
Become Giphy famous, I think is the...
Yeah.
I
don't know that I'm
Giphy
famous, but...
I'm going to start pulling random shapes. Like, just start... I don't know how to... Just a bit of this, I suppose.
I want to give my accidental glasses thing earlier. I mean, that definitely needs to be...
The only GIF we have of us is a photo I manipulated of us at a bar demo of just Lucy just like sculling pints, and it's just like a little like pinwheel arm. Anyway, getting distracted by fun, which is a good thing, obviously. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Until then, look after yourselves, be kind to one another, be sound, good night, and joy to you all.